or investments, as I am not a financial advisor. Any and all content provided by me contains my own speculative opinion on the market. As such, this content should not be used to make trading or investment decisions. The market is extremely volatile, and the decisions you make should be based on your own due diligence. If you should make a trade or investment decision based off the speculative content that we provide, this disclaimer legally relinquishes me from any and all responsibilities. Past market performance is not indicative of future market results. Trading in any market is extremely risky, and you should conduct your own research and analysis prior to making trading or investment decisions. Well. How the hell is everybody? Welcome back to another Blackfire TA. Today is Tuesday. I hope everybody's holiday weekend, 4th of July weekend, was explosive and exciting. As I did go on a little bit of a trip to North Carolina. 'Twas a good time. Got a little sunburnt. Saw some fireworks on the drive back up. And now we're back to the daily grind. So, without further ado, if you like the content that you see, if you want to be a part of the YouTube technical analysis channel here with Blackfire, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. Please tick that little bell. We're still, kind of on the road to 1,000 subscribers in either platform, Facebook or YouTube. Just trying to hit that 1,000 member mark. So if you guys like the content that's provided, smack all those buttons, hit them real hard. If you hate the content, hit the dislike button. Any other feedback will be put to good use. I promise you that much. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and take some of this water as I'm already dry in the throat. We're gonna skedaddle on over here to Mr. NASDAQ. It's been some time. I haven't looked at the markets for real since Thursday. So we're going to go ahead and see what the hell's going on with NASDAQ here. Continuation. What else is new? Continuation. Wow. None of my tools were on this actually, because I'm just I'm kind of in the like reprocessing phase for a couple of new strategies that I'm building here. But we're going to go ahead and go with normal horizontals for right now, as I do think they're most relevant currently. I'll go ahead and get the liquid boxes or the order blocks in at a further point in time. Yeah, continuation. Did we hit the one spot 414? No. But momentum oscillators do suggest that we do see a continuation to the one spot 414. As a result, I have no reason not to think a pullback to the red 10 simple would not be out of the question here. We're gonna have to. This one actually might be a little bit of a slower stream here, as I am playing with order blocks as my major horizontal support and resistance. I've been marking off all these horizontal support and resistance levels that I think are contrary to the relevant, and as a result my charts are way too convoluted and I end up making stupid mistakes as a result. So what I'm currently using right now are these little bits right here. So we're gonna go ahead and get some of these charted out right now. So I'm just looking for consolidation. I mean, you could in theory extend this all the way up here. Yeah, that would actually be a little more useful here. I hope this is the only chart that I screwed up. I do apologize if there are any viewers watching. Please be patient. I am employing a new specific piece of information for myself here. Maybe that one's a little more relevant here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it right there. That's all I need. Okay, let's go ahead and get the fibs. We are still using extension methods here, so boom. Okay. All right, now we got everything situated out right now. We are on the daily. I think I do have one little bit of a pullback region right there. Let's get back to it here. Clearly exceeding the 1 spot 272 Fibonacci extension levels here, and a little bit of a back test confirming it as support before seeing price action launch to new all-time highs. even as as today's open continues here. Again, I'm not looking for anything drastic until proven otherwise. And basically I'd be moving, I'd be using moving averages here, basically as my tell of levels here, all the way to this region here. This is my next sort of pullback level. If any kind of major pullback were to occur, I would be lining it up with the green 55 here, and that would correlate with any kind of daily candle closure below the 14,370-ish region, or just below the L21 moving average here. But for now, again, keeping it as simple as possible. I'm going to be looking for more continuation, until at least we start seeing, price action bleed back into this box here, and then we can discuss, consolidation potentials and further pullback potentials. But for now, any kind of pullback that I see on this, I am going to be on higher low watch. We do have another higher low that was printed right here. Nice little blue, little red box territory here that I could be printing out right now. But this region is very relevant as far as pullbacks are concerned, at least until that region is broken. We could, in theory, see a pullback all the way to 14,520. We'll just round it for shits and giggles. That would not be out of the question. We actually saw a little bit of a pullback in yesterday's candle, all the way to test the one spot 272 as new tentative support, and we have confirmed that as new tentative support, and we're seeing continuation as a result. Coming over, looking at the stochastics, again, the same thing I've been talking about for quite some time now. Just because we're in the overbought, quote unquote, territory does not mean it's time to sell, time to sell, time to sell, time to sell. What in fact we do see is that coiling action, that real tight, consolidation type movement with the stochastics deep in the bullish critical zone. And I see that as a tell of more bullish continuation, again, until I see that major drastic momentum shift, especially below the top side of the bullish control zone with a major, reversal style formation, forming. I'm not going to be looking for any kind of pullbacks, let alone any kind of bear market for the traditional market so far. For now, seeing a little bit of an uptrend in the bullish critical zone here for the stochastics. We do see a little bit of a cross, but nothing too scary. We've seen, so much of that already in the past, while price action just rips all the way up to new all-time highs. And then, that's kind of where I'm going to leave stochastics. RSI basically telling you the same thing, real choppy. Don't get me wrong. Nothing that's been extremely clean in my opinion, but nonetheless, we see that positively sloped exponential maintaining support for price action here, and that exponential looking like it's getting ready to cross into the bullish control zone here. I do like that kind of signal. We do see continuation deeper into the bullish control zone. You're taking out a lot of the prior highs here. Again, everything's pointing to continuation here, and that's a critical level too. That's a critical zone here for me. We see a cross from the RSI into the bullish control zone above that 65 read. That is your tell that the bulls do have control, and the fact that we haven't seen any kind of major reversal still bodes well for the bulls in my opinion, at least until we see major levels being broken to the downside. But for now, that's where I'm going to leave NASDAQ. We'll move on to SPY futures. I do want to, man, you see what I'm saying? This is the type of shit right here that leads me to make stupid decisions. I get real confused, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Again, this is going to be a little bit of a shorter stream, as I do want to employ, kind of my new types of strategies here. And we're going to go ahead and play with that right there. That's what I'm going to use. A little bit of a pullback is that top called bullish rejection. Nothing too critical in my opinion. There's not too much to go off of as far as order blocks are concerned. Maybe this region. I mean, and that's a big boy region right there. To be quite honest with you. Let's see here. Again, if you're watching the video and you're used to the horizontal support and resistance, don't get me wrong. I am still employing horizontal support and resistance. What I'm not doing is putting 50 or 60 of them on one freaking chart for no reason. I do not see any viable reason to have so many lines on my chart when I can just simplify it, put in a couple boxes, and look for the most critical zones that I could possibly be looking for. But for now, I'm going to look at SPY futures here. Obviously, damn it. I swallowed funny, excuse me. Obviously, putting in a little bit of a ceiling of resistance right now, or the evidence of we do have resistance, that much is confirmed. Again, I will use the horizontals when I do feel like they're relevant. And this one obviously proves, as resistance right now. We need to get that Fibonacci extensions in because we did see new all-time highs. On the 4th. Actually, doji style candlestick upon that resistance reversal style. We could see a little bit of a pullback, to be quite honest with you. Let's go ahead and get the fib markers in. That works. Or did we already see extensions? Did I not use the right one? Okay. Alright, that works. That's what I'm going to use right now. I'm probably going off the wrong one because I know this one is met. Oh, that's why. No, I'm using the right level. Yep, ceiling of resistance broke into the top side. Maybe I was certain. Yeah, I was certain we were getting ready to touch a fib level. See, for Fibonacci's, again, I'm going through my own technical analysis studies, and again, this is for educational purposes. So even when I do my own stream here, I'm going to be learning along the way. That's what's going to make me a better trader. Is sometimes I have to pause and document my thoughts and document the results of my thoughts. But for this kind of uptrend formation here, what are really swing highs and swing lows? You know what I'm saying? And which one should I use for the relevancy of this entire formation? Maybe the prior swing low. I mean, you could, but I would want to go off at this region here. Maybe that's a better decision that I should make. Since we have a ceiling of resistance right now, I'm going to go off of this potential swing high and this potential swing low for Fibonacci extension targets. And then I'm going to go off of this swing low to this swing high, potential swing high for Fibonacci retracement levels. Now, clearly, seeing the pullback potential of the yellow 21 lines up perfectly with the 0.236 Fibonacci retracement level, while a break through the resistance ceiling right now at 43.25 would convince me of continuation all the way up to the 1.272, right around 44.25, give or take a few bucks. That would kind of be my next target for this run if we see that resistance broken here. For now, we're seeing candles close above all major moving averages. We do have a top call, but without follow through, without continuation to the downside, I'm not going to be looking at this as a major top. We could potentially be looking at another higher low in formation. That would not be out of the question. We do see stochastics, crossing down in the bullish critical zone, but we remain in that bullish critical zone. And until I see some kind of, true reversal formation starting to form here, I'm going to be convinced that, potentially we see this one have another leg up. But again, I need to see this line of resistance broken. 43. We'll just call it 43.45. Anything above 43.45, I'm going to be looking for targets all the way up to 44.25. While any closure below the red 10 simple is gonna make me think that a pullback all the way to the yellow 21 is going to be our first target here. Again, that lines up with the Fibonacci extension, retracement target at the 236 here. But anything lower than that, then I'm going to be looking at this basis support right around here, 42.50, give or take a few bucks, would be a general healthy pullback level. But anything below this, then this whole box, in my opinion, is free. It's free movements anywhere within this inside this box. That's kind of how I'm going to be looking at it. Any break of this region here, gonna put me in a mindset of potentially shorting a little bit. Obviously we see a pullback to green 55, base another higher low. Again, we've seen the green 55 in the past hold up price action very, very well. With the exception of the one-offs that come down and test the Cyan 89. Nonetheless, that green 55 has been fueling, for the most part, this bull trend here, at least until we get back to this fucking region here. Then it's a little more choppy, but basically since this point, it's been carrying price action onward and upward to new all-time highs. It wouldn't be out of question to even see a pullback to that region. Now, obviously, I don't have the implications to assume such a thing. Except we did get more than average volume here on that declining red candle. That tells me that maybe we're ready to start seeing some sell-offs here. That wouldn't be out of the question. Again, it's been a hell of a ride for traditional stock markets here. We do see a little bit of rejection at the bottom side of the bullish control zone with that top call here. Again, that top call not concerning until we see follow through to the downside. Once we do see follow through to the downside, that's when things will be a little more sell-offish. Nothing. Again, we're not talking about major critical levels or a fucking bear market or anything like that. Just implications of potential sell-offs, a potential pullback, a retracement. That wouldn't be out of the question. Again, we are achieving new all-time highs, and as a result, I always look for sell-offs. Upon meeting those new all-time highs. So for now, that's kind of where I'm going to leave this one. To be quite honest with you, support and resistance actually plays a little bit better with this one. This one has hardly had any consolidation, in my opinion, unless you I don't know. I don't even think consolidation is the right terminology, because it's just been consolidating up or just going up. So for SPY futures, that's where I'm going to leave that one. Let's see what Dow Jones is doing. Man, don't tell me this is a triple top, dude. Man, really, really playing with that all-time high resistance here. This one actually gives me more to go on as far as the box is concerned, and that's safe to assume. How many tops? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we've stabbed this resistance 4 times, right? We've stabbed it 4 times. I have no reason not to think that this resistance is extremely weak. Let's go ahead and play with that Fibonacci extension. And the Fibonacci retracement. Oh, wrong indicator. We got both up on the board here. What are we talking about? What are we talking about here? Pull back to the 382 tells me that we could potentially see a little bit more of an upside move on this asset here. But this is concerning for me for a couple of reasons. Number one, we've rejected this so many freaking times. Is this just going to keep consolidating back and forth and back and forth? It's very possible. Could we see a pullback all the way to the bottom side of this red box territory? That would not be out of the question. Again, if we start seeing candles close below the moving averages here, I'm going to be more and more convinced of that as a higher possibility. We do see the stochastics still in the bullish critical zone here. Again, not too concerning as long as we're in the critical zone. I want to start seeing some coiling here, but along with that coiling, I want to see new all-time highs print. If I do see a new all-time high, anything above 34,825, give or take a few bucks, I'll be looking for extension all the way up to the 272, right around 35,200. For now, we do have a rejection. We do have a top call with bearish divergence. That tells me that we could see more of a pullback, especially with a body closure towards the L21 moving average here, right around the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level. Alongside of that, if this continues to play as a top, we likely see continuation all the way back down to this region here, 33,580, which is the bottom side of the range. Is it the true bottom side? Maybe give another stab at the Cyan 89. That wouldn't be out of the question. We've already seen a stab at the Cyan 89. and price action continue to consolidate as a result, and this is to me just another signal that, hey, consolidation is probably more likely as a result. Again, we did not see this resistance ceiling break. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4 stabs of rejection. Now again, per classical technical analysis, the more times a resistance or a support level is tested, the weaker it inherently becomes. Yes, that much is documented so far. This resistance is weak in my opinion. The more the bulls send price action towards that resistance, the weaker that the bears get. Rejecting that price action back to the downside. For now, we do have rejection. I will be looking for a little bit more continuation to the downside. This was a pretty powerful move. I don't even think this one has volume, does it? Nope, it doesn't. So without a volume read on this one, I can't really tell you how high the volume was, but we do see RSI, continuing to climb, continuing to print bearish divergence. That exponential is positive, so again, there is a little bit of hopium for the bullish perspective as we do see RSI coming towards that exponential. Maybe we see a little bit of a bounce off of that, but realistically, this is just a huge box of consolidation, and you kind of can't convince me otherwise. And until either the upside level of the consolidation breaks or the downside level breaks, I'm going to be looking for more consolidation, unfortunately. And the condition for this region breaking here, 33,587, obviously that'll likely correlate with the Cyan 89 over the next few days. Obviously, will not be a good signal, as that kind of move will take out all of the important Fibonacci retracement levels that I am looking at right now, and the target to the downside would be the 1.272 Fibonacci retracement, right around 33,250, give or take a couple bucks. But ultimately, a change of behavior would be a break of that Cyan 89 to the downside, and any kind of change of behavior on this right now, the way it's looking, is not going to be a very decent signal in my opinion. But price action is closing above all major moving averages. We could see it continue onwards, but for now, that's what I'm looking for realistically, to the upside and to the downside. Now, obviously, if we break the yellow 21, that's just going to give me more strength that this is going to come to the downside to test the bottom side of the box, or we could see a higher low print on the green 55. It's all about perspective. It's all about the kind of plans that you have lined up, and realistically, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. And my simplicity says this: we rejected the top side. I'm going to be looking for the bottom side as a target, and if the bottom side breaks, I'm going to be looking at Fibonacci retracement targets to the downside. More or less correlating with more levels to the downside. Potentially getting some more boxes here. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that. We do have a nice little box right here. Yeah, just going to extend it here. Again, I'm just trying out new things, seeing if it works, seeing what doesn't. Realistically, these could be absolutely wrong. I'm not going to lie to you, but for the sake of education and learning, we're just going to start playing around with different kinds of boxes here, and that's kind of how I have Dow Jones set up. I think that's where I'm going to leave that one. Yeah, my thoughts are well documented on this one. We'll go ahead and move down to Dixie here. Been wanting to look at this one for quite some time. This is fucking weird. That looks weird. Red 10 simple supporting price action to the upside, but we're still meeting that ceiling resistance right around the blue 377. What I don't like is that stochastics are crossing back into the bullish control zone, printing a lower high. RSI, bearish divergence did play out, but again, that positive exponential, holding very well for support. We do see a breach back into the bullish control zone. I want to see continuation. I want to see moves further to the upside, and from my perspective, that is warranted. The target right now for Dixie is 92.75. I am still looking for candles to close closer and closer to that exponential moving average here, and if we get a break, then I'm going to be a little more excited for continuation to potential new highs in this formation here. Again, we need to see some resistance broken here. 92.93 would be the next target if we see that blue 377 break. For now, it's rejecting. It's continuing to reject. There is a huge force of resistance right here, and obviously, but we do have a higher low, higher highs and higher lows along the way. I have no reason not to think that this won't continue to go upwards and onwards unless we see a break of the current low, which would be right about here. 92 spot 23 or the red 10 simple, any kind of daily candle closure below there. Obviously my next target's going to be somewhere around the yellow 21 moving average here, corresponding with this consolidation range right here, which would be perfect for a red box. And that's kind of where I'd leave the downside potential. Obviously we have upside potential to talk about. It is looking pretty bullish. We do have a nice, a nice solid uptrend here from an RSI perspective. The only thing that looks a little choppy from my perspective is the stochastics here. But stochastics could just cool down. That's very, very true. That we could see stochastics cool down a little bit before seeing a bullish continuation on this asset. But for now, I'm going to take what the evidence has given me and say, continuation from my perspective is more likely for this one. Again, we're paying attention to those critical levels. The 377 is very critical, and obviously the prior high is extremely critical if we're going to be talking about long-term uptrend structure here. The 93 spot 25 region, I need to see a daily candle closure above that region, preferably a weekly above that region, before I'm convinced that this is going to be a bullish uptrend for the long term here. From a more aggressive standpoint. But for now, that's where I'll leave Dickie, yeah! Let's go ahead and move on to Bitcoin here. Mr. Bitcoin, a lot cleaner. This one's actually a lot cleaner from my perspective here. We do see a little bit of a resistance here broken. It's the only horizontal that I have put on my chart, but nonetheless, we do see it broken, technically, but we don't see any closures above it. And even with a closure above it, I would like to see that closure above this resistance level here correspond with a closure above the yellow 21 here, and I'll be convinced that the next high here, 35,900, maybe 36,000 bucks, would be the next target to the upside. Obviously, this is consolidation, and it's been consolidating down in my opinion for quite some time. A lot of bearish divergence playing out. It's just real tight, and this is why I don't like trading consolidation. It's just too tight, it's too choppy, it's too messy. I'm waiting for the major break here, and the level I'm looking at more specifically is the top side of the range at 40,900 bucks. Any kind of daily candle closure back above that region, we'll be talking about bullish runs to the upside, very, very potentially, all the way to this region here at 48,800. That would kind of be my next target, again, if this region were to break, and that would coincide with a potential devalidation of this death cross here on the daily between the 55 and the 200. I don't know. You could technically say that it's validated. I would have rather seen price action pull a little closer to it, for actual, validation, actual confirmation, which I still believe we don't have, but the death cross is diverging further and further away. The green is diverging further south of the 200, and the further that divergence gains momentum, the more strength that death cross will have, and the more convinced of this being a longer term downtrend I will be convinced of. Again, the same kind of principles apply. We still have some supports to really pay attention to, but the main one that I'm focused on is the 30,350 region. Any kind of daily candle closure below that region. Obviously, the next target to the downside from a box perspective would be this region, right around 24,500 to 22,200. Anywhere within that range is where I would look for price action to fall if we see this major box break to the downside. And quite the opposite, if the upside of this box breaks, I'll be looking for moves all the way into this upper box here, above 48,700, give or take $100. But for now, more consolidation after consolidation. I'm still waiting for that big move. I'm still waiting for that breakdown or breakout. Now, obviously, we could, we could say that this is tradable if we get a break above 34,700, somewhere above the L21 moving average. I would say that that's tradable so long as we see a move above 35,950. Again, this prior high right here. Again, seeing more of this choppy lower high consolidation stuff, convinces me that we might be seeing this come to the downside. Again, we're putting a lot of pressure on that 377, and I do look at that as a major, major pivot point. Obviously, we've seen a couple stabs below it, and it really not continue further to the south. But for Bitcoin's sake, man, that exponential is getting weaker and weaker. I know it's a major level. I know it has major significance. It's it probably correlates with major retracement levels. Actually, let's get that. We do have extension, don't we? No, we do have retracement. Yeah, the 0.886 is kind of our. From a Fibonacci retracement level, it's kind of the last hope, in my opinion. Again, we're kind of riding on that fine line of a last hope for, potentially seeing that that new all-time high that everyone's talking about. And posting articles that we might not have seen the all-time high for Bitcoin on this run so far. Is that true? Don't know. Don't care. What's really relevant to me is that 886 Fibonacci retracement level is a very, very last hopey type of level, and any kind of closure below there, tells me that price might come south, but more importantly, in correlation, the one even here Fibonacci retracement level, that in my opinion is the extreme absolute last hope for Bitcoin to continue a bull run to potential new all-time highs, or even an uptrend at all whatsoever. Will be invalidated with any kind of daily candle closure below the prior low, right around $30,400. Anything below there, I'm going to be looking for this red box as a target to the downside, and that's a lot of space. That is a very tradable move in my opinion, and that's why I want to keep things more simple, because you're looking at a 20%, almost a 20% gainer, and if you're playing with a little bit of leverage, that could be more than 20% put in your pocket. So a very, very, very tradable move, and even to the upside is a very tradable move. Again, I'm not hunting for the entire move. I'm only hunting for continuation. I'm hunting for just parts of the move. You don't have to catch the whole move to be profitable. And see, to the upside, if the top side of the box breaks here, you could be looking at a possible 20%, even more. Again, because anywhere in this upper box region would become a valid target from my perspective. Obviously, I would play with horizontal support and resistances, but I would only play with the more significant ones from my perspective. So, as far as Bitcoin is concerned, am I bullish? No, not at all. Again, stochastics, real strong, but the price action isn't strong in relation to it. RSI, much weaker. This entire consolidation phase has been, mostly in the bearish zone here. Obviously not fully in the bearish control zone, but below that 50 read, I still see it that the bears have a little bit of control here. Now, a move back up with a breach of RSI above the 50 read could be a tell that, hey, maybe the bears no longer have control, but we don't have that signal. We haven't gotten that signal. For the most part, we've gotten rejection of that 50 read. So for now, that's kind of how I'm looking at Bitcoin. Any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. Again, I don't want to convolute my charts with so many horizontal support and resistance levels that it clouds my own judgment, and it leads me to make poor decisions. I want to pay attention to those major critical levels here. Now, obviously, I'm still studying how I can better trade consolidation ranges. Because I'm really bad. I'm really bad at trading consolidation. I'm so bad. I don't make the right decisions at the right times. I always hesitate. And I'm just learning more. But for now, what I know how to trade, what I know how to be confident in trading is major levels, and that's kind of what I'm still waiting for here. We saw this Cyan 89 move here, and this was over a weekend, but we saw that Cyan 89 move as basically a major level broken, and I traded that, and boom, to the downside it went, and it was a pretty profitable gain. And then when I start trading these consolidations, I start seeing my gains disappear. So I've made the cautious decision: stop trading consolidation until you learn it better. Learn it better, get good, bro. But for now, major levels, again, I'll cover them for Bitcoin: 30,400 to the downside, upside 40,000, what you call 41,000. Any closure above there, the next box is my target. Any closure below here, the next box to the downside is my target. And until then, it's consolidation. Until I see evidence of a legitimate uptrend, a legitimate change of behavior, or a complete capitulation to the downside. That's where I'm looking at Bitcoin. Let's move on to requests, of which I only have 6, so maybe it won't be a longer stream. But again, I want to employ a different method, so we'll go ahead and go to GSAT here, Global Star Incorporated. I actually think I'll keep this one here. What do we see? We have a low. That much is confirmed. Rejection of the exponential to the upside. We do have a fresh cross. Obviously, I want to see more meat in that cross. I want to see continuation in that exponential go back to positive. For now, we do have the evidence that suggests potential continuation. Obviously, very, very, very close. But we did see a closure above this resistance level here, which leads me to believe that this resistance right here at $2 even would be the next target. and potentially we see continuation as a result of this printing as a higher low. That much is confirmed. What? How is that confirmed? We're closing candles below it. No, it's confirmed. It's a higher low. Take it as you will. Yeah. Yeah. What? What's more important though? This freaking rising channel. This rising channel is still very, very vastly important. While I do appreciate the horizontals in between that structure, I'm looking at this structure with a little bit more importance here, to be quite honest with you. Any closure above $2, I'm going to be looking for the top side of this channel to potentially break. But if we don't, we just see continuation within this channel with targets to the top side of the channel, targets to the bottom side of the channel, kind of like consolidation. Obviously, this is a consolidation formation. It is coming off of a downtrend, which leads me to believe that it's going to be a little more bearish, to be quite honest with you. But these kind of formations could play out in any which way. And RSI is kind of the one thing telling me, hey, we might see some continuation to the top side near that $2 region. Stochastics does not tell me that. Stochastics actually tells me rejection of the critical zone here and looking for a fresh breach below the bullish control zone, which would kind of be your tell on any kind of movement below this region here at $1.64 that we're looking at the bottom side of the range to potentially play out. But if we take out this range, do we have an extrapolated measured move? Maybe? No, that's not right. See, again, that's the whole process of learning, you guys. Top of the flagpole. What the hell just happened to my screens, bro? What the flying fuck? Technical difficulties, I do apologize. Please bear with me. I don't know what that was or why that was, but it's fixed. No biggie. Okay. Low volume on that low. I don't like the low volume. I don't like the low volume on green candles. That always just tells me that buying and buyer interest is not the interest here. Again, I want to see continuation. I want to see moves to that $2 region, and I want to see that $2 region break. If we see the top side of this channel break, measured moves all the way up to almost $4. Again, a measured move is just a ballpark estimate. I'm not saying that it's going to get to $4 exactly, and that's a little bit of hindsight trading. But those are the potential moves to be looking for within a formation like this, and specifically to the downside as well. I mean, the downside's a little more aggressive, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, that's nothing. I'm gonna move that. That's not right at all. That's not right at all. We'll just keep it like that. I'm going to play it level by level if this decides to break to the downside. If we see a closure below at $1.34 here, pull back all the way to this support region at $1.13 would be my next target to the downside. And quite the opposite. Again, we did see a closure above $1.73, but maybe it's $1.75 we need to close above. But for now, resistance broken from my perspective leads me to believe that we see, a little bit of continuation to the, to the $2 region. Again, we do have that higher low printed on this, on the RSI, and we do see that exponential being supported barely, but close enough is close enough. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave that one. Let's go ahead and move on. AMC is the big topic, huh? See, everyone's all hyping. Everyone's all hyping. Everyone's hyping. Everyone believes that, Wall Street Bets has control of AMC, but who really thinks that, right? Who really thinks that? Because even people in that group can fucking sell their stocks. Here's what I'm looking at. Right. Obviously, we have a couple of horizontals to put in here as potential targets to the downside. Or maybe I can just make that box a little bit bigger. Yeah, that works. That works a little bit better. AMC. RSI is concerning. RSI is concerning because we're looking at potentially taking out another RSI low here. We do have a downtrend in formation from an RSI perspective. That negative exponential proving to be heavy with resistance along the way to the downside as we see tests of that all-time high resistance ceiling. Are we on all-time highs? Yeah, we are on all-time highs. Now, does that mean it's the end of freaking AMC? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. Pull down to the bottom side of the box. Actually have to readjust that region. Give me 1 second. Yeah, pull back to the bottom side of that box. 42.91 would not be out of the question. We'll just call it 43 bucks. Would not be out of the question. Any kind of candle closure below that region. Look at my next target. Keep it simple, stupid. Now, obviously, I would be looking for bounces along the way of these moving averages here. But if we're talking about structure, this boom up isn't structure. And in my opinion, this boom up could easily be sold into all the way back down to 14.33 or anywhere in this box right here. Does it have to fall into the box? No, we could definitely see, structural higher lows, like uptrend-esque, long-termish uptrend-esque. Higher lows being printed here. A break below this box right here, in my opinion, would not be fucking good. Would not be good at all. Seeing consolidation continue within this box while momentum oscillators do a little bit of a cool down reset, that would be more or less a good thing. Ultimately, I'm looking at this. Give me a second. We have a swing low, swing high. Swing low. Yeah, we do. That can't be right. That's too powerful. That's too powerful. But AMC's been powerful, so I'm going to stick with it because not really a swing. Not really a swing. This is a swing high. This is a swing low. Yeah, I mean, why the fuck not? Let's go for it. Okay, I'd say any candle closure above this region here at 61.52, I'll be looking for extensions to new all-time highs with potential targets all the way at the 1.272 Fibonacci extension level. However, with any kind of pullback, let's actually get... I'm starting to really like this tool just for the simple fact that when there's just space between a breakdown point and the next box, I have to pull out fibs. I would say the first target would be the Cyan 89 to the downside. If we see the bottom side of that box break again, the bottom side of that box is 42.85. Any candle closure below that region is going to correlate real nicely with continuation of RSI to the downside, as well as stochastics with a target of the 0.236 right around 27.27. That would be my first target. Something a little fun that I learned today, again, as I restudy my program that I'm taking. I did learn today that from a bullish perspective, it is unlikely that we see a retracement to the 0.236 as a major algorithm target, if that makes any sense. A lot of the times it's right at the 5. Right at the 5, and we still have a higher probability somewhere around the 0.382 or $16.50. That would not be out of the question. Let's go ahead and mark that level out. That is a key area of interest to the downside if this were to pull back, which is right in line with the golden Fibonacci extension level at 618. Obviously not relevant for pullbacks, but I like the confluence. Any kind of pullback to that region, if that box breaks, would kind of be my first and foremost target. Anything lower than that, we're going to be looking at this box, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, we don't have too much other than that to go off of, except for momentum oscillators, the box that we are in, and the box that we could be in. Very, very simply put, that's kind of how I'm looking at it. I don't like the exponential. I don't like the downside movement here from an RSI perspective. I don't like that we just closed below the yellow 21. I don't like that we're seeing negative slopes on two exponentials here. Not a death sentence, obviously, but again, everyone seems to think that they always and forever have more power than the people that are really in charge. It's asinine. Billionaires have billions. Billionaires have more money than millions of Americans put together. I'm just saying. I'm hearing a lot of news. Oh, AMC is sold out. How's it fucking sold out? I bought some the other day. I don't get it. AMC, to the moon. Of course, I want AMC to go to the moon. It'd be great to be in that trade, to be in that wave. But we need to be realistic here. We don't want to have the deer in the headlights, and we don't want to be like AMC to the moon and then wake up, 30% out of your equity. If you're trading, you're trading. You're not trying to take more than a 2% hit. You're trying to get in the wave and get out and grow your money. If you're an investor, cool, invest, hold on to them stocks. But if you're a trader, we're looking at a potential big move in the making. I'm not gonna lie to you. Again, any closure below 42.80, if we're going to be exact. Any closure below 42.80, I'm going to be convinced that a major decline is going to be a result. Obviously, we've seen this booming kind of action before, and it just get real hefty into that green 55. We have another little boo box. I love boxes. I'm going to use them as horizontals for the rest of my life. You can't argue with me. Fucking deal with it. Yeah, AMC has been fun. Don't get me wrong, it is bullish. Do I think it's overextended? Yes. Do I think it's being manipulated? Yes. Do I think, the people who are risking their life savings are going to wake up one day crying their eyes out because they lost a whole bunch? Yep. That's what happens when you don't manage a risk here. I'm just trying to be as realistic as possible. Again, I do love AMC. It has been a fun ride, and I do think there is a potential to see a fun ride continue again as long as we remain above the bottom side of that box. I am full-blown hopium on AMC continuing to new all-time highs, and again, that one spot 272 target could be coming to fruition if we see the top side of that box break. But if we see the bottom side of that box break, I'm going bear. I'm gonna put my bear goggles on. I'm gonna be looking for continuation to the downside as a result. So as far as AMC is concerned, that's kind of where I'm gonna leave that. Been on that one for a while. I fucking hate GameStop. But let's see if it's bullish. No. Yes. Let's get some boxes going. I like boxes. Boxes are fuck. Boxes are fun. Wow. It actually kind of works out pretty nicely. But it's been quite some time since I've looked at GameStop. Seen so many stabs below the neutral line just get bought right back up. Could be a very, very heavy support region here. From an RSI perspective, I don't like the top calls. I don't like the negative exponential, but the negative exponential has been proven wrong various times before with that midline, that neutral zone, that 50 read, basically acting as support. Basically the bulls forcing this one out of bearish control. That much is evidence. Stochastics, this is a beautiful read. This is a beautiful read so long as we don't break down. I would want to see a higher low, to be quite honest with you. Where's our last low? We're fucking around with our low right now. Closed below the green 55. Definitely putting pressure on the top side of that box. A break into that box, in my opinion, would not be good. We would be playing with the Cyan 89 as the next target, right around 181 spot 80. Any closure below that would be playing with this target here in a 167 spot 30. Any closure below that, playing with a prior low here, 136.80. Ultimately, a break below this box, I'm going to be looking for a full retracement all the way to the bottom side of this box here at about 135 bucks. But we could see continuation structurally, if we're being honest. We got our low here. When did we get a low? Oh, a little bit of a downtrend. Bullish reset. I don't. To be quite honest with you, I'm looking at the levels. I'm looking at the levels, and we're putting a lot of pressure on this level. And if we break that, then my targets are going to be extending to the downside. But if we pop back up above the yellow 21, we do have a little bit of a consolidation phase here going. It's actually kind of right here, this region here, 220 bucks. I want to see moves back above 220 bucks. For me to put my bull goggles back on my face, the full bullish here. Obviously, we had that whole debacle with GameStop, just absolutely ripping to the upside, and basically not really putting in any more new all-time highs ever since that point. Obviously, testing all-time highs and rejecting them, printing a top, weird little loop formation. It's consolidating. That much is sure. The question is, where does it break? When, where does it? Which level does it break? And obviously, I can't give you fortune teller, cookie cutter bullshit predictions on which level it's going to break. All I can say is that if this level to the downside breaks 197, I'm going to be looking for pullbacks to the bottom side of the box. Any breaks above this region, then I'm going to be playing with horizontals on the way up. Until ultimately we potentially see a new all-time high. But I'm not going to be talking about all-time highs on this one. I'm actually going to wait for a little while, see how this consolidation plays out, and we have our two most important levels that I'm paying attention to right now, scoped out for GameStop. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave it. We'll go ahead and move on. IGC. Corey wants IGC. India Globalization Capital Incorporated. This is that real choppy one, isn't it? This one's just bad. Man, this is one big consolidation, bro. More touch points, the more relevancy. That's kind of how I would be looking at it, to be quite honest with you. Got that top side playing perfectly. Series of higher highs. And this one's choppy. I can't even use EMAs. They're so just tightened up. I'm just gonna say consolidation. I'm looking for more consolidation. I don't like the rejection at the top side of the bearish control zone and the lower high print from a stochastics perspective. That tells me more downside. I don't like the bearish divergence call break below the exponential. We could see that exponential reject and the exponential act as resistance if we see downside continuation. More importantly, downside continuation. Maybe I would say this level here, $145. Anything below $145 likely sends RSI into the neutral zone here, below the neutral zone, and that's a critical read in my opinion. Again, the 50 is a critical region from my perspective. We do have this RSI uptrend. It's real choppy. This isn't a real clean chart, to be quite honest with you, but this is how I'd be looking at it. Any break above this region, only God knows where it's going to go. Do we have any levels, any major levels to consider? I guess I'd have to say this region right here would be my next target to the upside. That's assuming if we break $2.05, I'll look for a move all the way up to $2.31. Do I think that happens? A lot of sell pressure here, forcing price action to a reversal style. More realistically, I'm going to be looking for price action to continue down to $1.45 as a result of this top call, bearish divergence, breaking through the exponential. If we see it break through the $1.45 region, my next target's going to be $1.32 to the downside. Anything less than that, you know, that's going to be the target to the downside. A little bit of hindsight trading, about $1 per share. For now, this isn't the healthiest in my opinion. It looks like a pump and dump, to be quite honest with you. Declining, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump, dumpy. Yeah, it's a pump and dump. You know, it doesn't scream the pinnacle of health and fitness in my opinion. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave that. Again, just paying attention to the critical zones here for major breakout trades. Go ahead and mark that level off. Again, that could be a potential target to the upside, but that's assuming that we see an actual, you know, a bull trend, you know, in formation in this one. So that's where I'll leave IGC. We'll move on. MMAT. I think this one pulled back. Nah, consolidating on the lows. Consolidating on the lows, still putting pressure on that downside resistance. You know, my stature still stands. I'm still looking for a downside release, to be quite honest with you, unless this confirms as an actual low. Any closure below 6.70, I'll be looking for a pullback into this box area right around $6, and anything less than that sends it to $4.45. Do I have continuation to the upside? Maybe we do have resistance right here. Mark that off. Boom. You know, could we see continuation? Yeah, we actually, you know, close enough is close enough. We saw continuation near that resistance, and it get rejected right around $8, I think. Yeah, $8 got rejected, forced it back down to this support level here. This support is still holding. That much is true, but we're putting a lot of pressure on it. What I do want to see is a cross up here. I want to see continuation from a bullish perspective with a fresh cross up into the 30 or the 20 read from a stochastics perspective, as well as a low being printed on the neutral zone. That would prove to be very healthy, especially with a cross back above the exponential here. But that would be in correlation with a break above $8.64 before I even think of continuation to this all-time high around $20. But for now, you know, pretty easy read. Pretty easy read if you're looking to buy. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But if you're looking to buy, this could be a decent buying opportunity. But I would, you know, from my perspective, again, I'm not an aggressive trader. I wait for confirmation so that I can manage my risk extremely tight. And confirmation of bullish continuation to potentially test the new all-time high would be a closure above the $8.64 read in correlation with a fresh cross on the stochastics with a lot of momentum, in correlation with a low call on the RSI. That's kind of how I'm looking at MMAT here. Let's go ahead and do the last one, and then I got to wrap this up. BBIG. Vinco Ventures Incorporated. What are we seeing? More consolidation. More consolidation. Down though. It's consolidation down. We could be seeing a little bit of a bullish reset. That much is very evident. Let's go ahead and play. Again, this one doesn't have too much history, so you know I can't really sit here and say, oh yeah, it's this or that, because I don't fucking know. There's not enough price action history. Yeah, that makes more sense. We'll even play with the wicks here. I'd say it's safe to assume yeah, any break below this region here, $3.57. I'll be looking for a greater pullback all the way down to this region here, $2.70, maybe even lower into this box somewhere. We are printing new lows to be completely blunt and honest with you. We did print a new low and then rejected this middle of this box area here. Rejected it as resistance. So this region right here is confirmed as resistance until proven otherwise. And you know that goes to show that we could see potential you know, potential heinousness, pullback action within this asset below the $3.60 region. But I do like stochastics. I do like the weakening momentum to the downside. I do like that they're starting to curl up. If we do see this bounce off and reverse to the upside, any candle closure above $4.28 would convince me of of a major buy opportunity from this asset. But the RSI tells me nah. RSI tells me no. Seeing new lows being tested. We're seeing the this low here being tested. Why is my screen doing that? Absolutely not okay. Shut up. I do apologize for the technical difficulties. We're having some issues here with my computer and monitors. Okay, what was I saying? Yes, this low here is the one I'm looking at right now. Right in line with that 50 read. Any kind of continuation to the downside below that 50 read is going to be a major signal. I'd look at any kind of pump back up to test that 50 read as resistance. We actually have a couple of times where meeting the 50 read got rejected pretty heinously. But past market performance is not indicative of future market results. Again, this doesn't even have that much past. So to be quite honest with you, it just looks like one big happy consolidation. Just a one big happy consolidation. And that's kind of how I'm looking at that one, to be quite honest with you. Obviously paying attention to the one major box could be indicative of potential price action pumping to the upside. Do I have a Fibonacci? Yes, I do have a Fibonacci. Right around the 1. Any closure above $5.30. I'd be looking for extensions all the way up to the one spot 272, right around 685. Again, that's hopium, that's magic, that's if because from price right now, that's almost a 50% move. And we're well and far away from that, but just for a little mental fun here, that's kind of one of the potential targets if we see the major high being taken out to the upside. Is it a possibility? Yes. Is it evident that it's a possibility? No. To be quite honest with you, a little more downside is a little more evident unless we print a low right here and just shoot straight up. So that is BBIG, and I think that's where I'm going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. If you like the stream, it was a little bit more boring. I did have to do a lot more tedious chart work today. Again, I am adjusting. I'm adjusting some of my strategies to see if I can get a better hit rate, because it's about time that I do this full time. I really want to do this full time. So I'm working extremely hard to mitigate my risk and eliminate losses as much as humanly possible, getting on the winning side of trades, getting on the winning side of momentum. So please bear with me as I do, I do continue to practice. I continue to train. I continue to get better again. If you're watching my stream and laughing, you're thinking I'm some kind of noob, congrats. I am. I'm only 4 years in. I'm a very slow learner. So when it comes to fixing mistakes that I don't know are there, once I identify them, sometimes it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of consideration and adjustments for me to fix my own trading mistakes. So again, please bear with me. And if you like the channel, if you like what you see, if you like the content, please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please tick that little bell. It definitely helps the YouTube algorithm give us a little bit of visibility, and it definitely makes the channel a lot bigger, especially once we get get accustomed to a daytime. More of a daytime thing, because this is like TA nerd time is 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. But hopefully once I get situated and doing this full time, we'll be getting the streams on a better hour so that people can watch them live. I want to get some some community interaction. I want people to constructively criticize my analysis and maybe teach me things. Again, I'm looking for members. I'm looking for new members who may have 15, 20 years of trading experience already doing this full time. Those are the kind of people that I'm looking for to come into the channel and make the channel bigger, better, and brighter. So again, if you like it, please join the channel. Come along, have a good time, and that's it. Until next time, guys. Stay